I can't hear. I cannot hear you. Good afternoon. Okay, I'm Terry Prather. I have the honor of being president of the SeaWorld Orlando, which includes Aquatica and Discovery Cove. And as I was walking out, I thought about, I grew up in Georgia, and I was listening to Benji on the videos and thought, could I get that accent, be a game changer? All right? Did everybody get that? I'm not from Australia. But we are so happy to have you out this afternoon. We've got some of our media partners, our pass holders, and just other friends of ours and family members. We appreciate you coming out this afternoon. We know the weather wasn't perfect, but it is Orlando and it's summer. So it is what it is. But as we get here, as we stand here tonight, we're beginning our summer season tomorrow night, and we wanted to give you a sneak preview of some new shows. As we've talked about back in March, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary, and there were going to be lots of surprises. 50 years. I like to remind people that it's been 50 years of caring, and as I think about our mission, and many of you know our mission, and it's been a part of us for 50 years. Our mission has always been the same, to use the power of entertainment, really to inspire our guests to celebrate, connect with, and care for the natural world. That's what we're all about, that's what we've been about, that's what we're proud of doing, and we do it every day better than anyone else in the world. So we're proud of that. So we appreciate your support, we appreciate you being here. So it is a special night for us as we prepare to go into our summer season. And we have two shows tonight that we wanted you to see for the first time. And you are the first people to see these shows, and they are great shows. So we want your feedback, we want your involvement, we want your enthusiasm. Let us know what we need to do better, change, or just keep doing what we're doing. Give us your thoughts. But a couple things before we get out of here, before the show starts. Don't forget, if you get a chance, to stop by Sea Garden after this show, and make sure you're at Shamu Stadium no later than 8:45. I think the show will start. Even if I'm not there, it's going to start. But get there and get you a good seat. So, without further ado, I want to introduce a show that is really near and dear to our hearts. It's all about celebrating what we do best. And there's no better way to celebrate it than with those people that do it every day. So tonight, for the first time, we bring to you Generation... Come on. Man, after all those videos, you didn't have it? Okay, let's try it again. We're going to bring you Generation Nature Live. Let's do the show. Thank you, guys.
Are you ready to be a game changer? Join me, Vindio, on GenerationNature.com, a cool online destination and show dedicated to us, the next generation of real game changers. Witness inspiring animal stories, play interactive games, plus discover real actions you and I can take part in. You can be a game changer.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Generation Nature Live. Please put your hands together for our host, SeaWorld animal trainer, all-around animal lover, and our very own game changer, Brian Faulkner.
How are you doing on this beautiful evening? Are you enjoying yourself so far? Well, that's great, and we are so glad that you all are getting the chance to visit us here at Generation Nature Live. And we would like to thank all of you as our pass holders and media for getting the very first glimpse of what we're going to be doing here throughout the summer. Now, I have had the luxury to be an animal trainer here for over 9 years, working with animals like sea lions, penguins, and currently killer whales. Each and every day provides me with a new and exciting challenge. And now it's time for all of us here at Generation Nature to challenge you to be the next generation of game changers. Over the next few minutes, we're going to meet some incredible animals, hear their stories of survival, and find out what we can do to help. But first, What even is a game changer? Well, simply put, a game changer is any one of us. That could be you, that could be me, that could be your brother, sister, or even your parents. Any single individual that makes positive change for our natural world. And all it takes is one simple act to make a world of difference for animals in need. Just like Panini! Hey there, little guy. Now this is Panini. He's a roseate spoonbill and just one of our many animal ambassadors here at SeaWorld. And here to tell us a little bit more about this feathered friend of ours is my buddy Alex. How's it going?
Good, how you doing, man?
Good, really good. Now Alex, I have a question about Panini here. Obviously, he's got this very distinct pink coloration. Why is that?
Well, actually, these guys will eat a lot of fish and shrimp. Now, what other bird do you think eats shrimp and has the same color?
Well, I know flamingos are pink.
Very good. Actually, flamingos are cousins to the spoonbill, so they both eat the same shrimp, and actually that's how they get their color.
Oh, well that's good to know. And how did Panini come to be an animal ambassador here at SeaWorld?
He is one of our ambassadors. He's around 8 years old, and he was actually born in our San Antonio park.
Oh, so was I, little guy. I didn't know that about you.
But his role in everything in our park is really to teach guests, as an ambassador, about his species, and he represents thousands of animals in our collection, and he also teaches people about our environment and what they can do to better their environment.
Well, that's really interesting. And also, Alex, I mean, he's called a spoonbill. So what purpose is that distinct shape? You know, why is it there?
That beak is what I say, 2 spoons put together, or really they're chopsticks, and what they'll do is they'll put that beak, just actually what that motion he's doing, they'll put that beak underwater and sift through the sand. At the end of that beak, they have a lot of nerve endings. And so they know the difference really, if they're touching underwater like you would with your hand,
yeah,
the difference between a rock and a shrimp. So it actually allows them to hunt underwater.
Okay, so it's kind of like using chopsticks and eating sushi, so to say.
Absolutely.
All right, well thank you so much, Panini, and thank you, Alex, for introducing us to him. Members of a very large animal care team here at SeaWorld that's dedicated to the health, care, and well-being of all of our animals here at the park. But our reach does not stop there. Our SeaWorld team is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I know there's a lot of kids out there probably tonight, and can you imagine, you're on summer vacation right now. Can you imagine your teacher calling you tonight expecting a science project due tomorrow? Or even parents having your boss call you right now wanting you to come right into work? Well, doesn't sound too fun, but our SeaWorld team does that happy and willingly because there's always animals that are in need. And it's going to be my privilege to introduce to you to 3 members of that team that always seem to go above and beyond. Please help me in welcoming JP, Dr. Laura Croft, and Corey Oxman. Thank you all so much for being here with us tonight, and I know that I've had the luxury of working with each and every one of you in a variety of ways, but our audience might not know you just as well, so if you don't mind introducing yourself and saying what your specialty here at the park is.
I'm JP, I'm a supervisor of animal care, and I also have the privilege of working with our animal rescue team.
I'm Dr. Laura Croft. I'm one of the veterinarians here at SeaWorld Orlando, so I get to provide medical care to all the park's animals, but also participate in the wildlife rescue and rehabilitation efforts.
And I'm Corey Oxman. I've been a part of the animal training team for 11 years, and I currently serve as one of the company's animal ambassadors, which means I get to work with a wide variety of animals and share their incredible stories with our guests every day.
Well, thank you so much for all being here, and we look forward to hearing from you throughout the show. So, to kick us off, we all got the chance to meet Panini, who calls Florida home. And there's another animal that I'm sure you're all going to be excited to talk about that calls Florida waters home as well. You're always going to see them here in our Blue Horizon show, jumping high out of the water, or even interact with them across the street at Discovery Cove. And what other animal could I be talking about but bottlenose dolphins? And unfortunately, these animals can face many threats in their natural habitat. And sadly, a lot of them can be man-made. So let's take a quick look at a recent rescue where SeaWorld and other organizations were able to come together and help a mother and calf in need.
These waterways that we play in, we fish in, these dolphins swim and eat in. And unfortunately, sometimes fishing line is something that becomes very detrimental to these animals. SeaWorld got a call about a mother and a calf in the Halifax River that the calf was entangled in fishing line. The ability for this calf to nurse from mom or be able to eat on its own might be hindered by this monofilament line. So us getting there as quick as we could was crucial.
Several agencies, including the National Marine Fisheries Service and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, set out in boats to look for the dolphins. In Daytona Beach, Florida, rescuers are working to untangle a dolphin calf found with its mother before the injuries and stress levels reach a critical point.
Let's bring it a little closer together, just real quick.
Fortunately, with this calf, the entanglement wasn't that bad. We were able to make 2 or 3 cuts. The line came free. The calf looked really good. Mom was really good.
It's an injury that kills so many marine animals. This young dolphin is lucky to be alive.
We will try to return mom and calf at the exact same time. So there's a little bit of orchestration that has to happen.
Okay, you ready? On the count of 3, push it together and let go. 1, 2, 3.
With that, rescuers saved 2 more dolphins from a fate that has claimed so many others.
The outcome of this rescue is exactly what SeaWorld wants to see. We want to be able to assist the animal and return them to the wild in the same process. This is what our job is about.
Good job, everybody. Thank you.
All right. That is one very fortunate mother and calf, and JP, obviously you were a part of this particular rescue, and my question to you is, how does our SeaWorld rescue team become aware of rescues like this or other animals in need?
You know, the SeaWorld rescue team, we're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, a regulatory agency, in this case would have been National Marine Fisheries Services, calls SeaWorld to request our assistance. Once they do, our teams load up and we get going to the scene.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, I didn't know exactly how this process worked, and for a while there I thought y'all had a little firehouse station, and this alarm went off, and y'all went sliding down the pole and rushed to him at a moment's notice.
No.
Well, that's great that you're always ready and willing to be able to help these animals. And another thing, in this case in particular, the calf was entangled in fishing line. Now, luckily it wasn't that severe as you said in the video, but how bad can this really be for them?
You know, monofilament line can actually entangle and tighten and tighten, and it won't break. That's why it's fishing line. It doesn't break, it just keeps going until it cuts. Can it be dangerous? Yeah, it can be deadly. In this case, we lucked out. It was a mom and a calf, which makes us very nervous, but they did well. The calf, we were able to cut it a couple times, remove the line, and they swam off together. You know, you asked about the firemen waiting for the call. Here at SeaWorld, our rescue team is all part of the SeaWorld family, so we're all doing our jobs inside the park. And then once that call comes, we all change gears and have to head outside the park to do this secondary part, which is what SeaWorld's all about. Rescue, rehabilitate, and hopefully return them right back to the wild on scene like this one.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, JP, so much for not only what you did for this dolphin and calf, but what you've done for countless others as well. Let's give him a round of applause. It might be very rare for any of you to ever find an example just like that, a dolphin that's in need. But if you ever do, all that we ask is that you please contact the proper local authorities so that they can get the right people there in the right amount of time to do the right thing. But that doesn't mean that there is not anything that we can do to make positive change. Something as simple as maybe throwing away our fishing line, just like that example, or even picking up trash. I know when I travel to the dog park with my 2 dogs, Ginger and Diesel, each and every time I see something, I'll pick it up and just put it away. Because that one little piece of trash is in someone's home. And by home, I mean an animal's home. And it can obviously cause them harm. So if each and every one of us does our part, we could be making a monumental difference for any animal. And this is something that we want to know about all of you and what you're doing out there. We want you to share with us when you're being that incredible game changer. Share with us on GenerationNature.com, post on our Facebook page, or even share a photo with us on Instagram, because we want to hear from all of you. And now, speaking of posting photos, I bet you're all going to want to get your cameras and your iPhones out, because a picture of this new guy is going to be one that I'm sure you're going to want to put up on your wall. Please help me in welcoming Panama the Pelican. Now, interacting with Panama tonight is my buddy Robin, and since she's got her hands full while she's hanging out with our feathered friend here, Corey, I want to know a little bit more about this guy. Can you tell us about Panama's story?
Well, Panama is so much fun to work with, let me tell you. He has the energy and the excitement of any 4-year-old I've ever met. He is 4 years old, and unfortunately, Panama was abandoned on his nest when he was just a little baby. There was no mom or no dad around, and so the government decided, you know what, this pelican needs to be cared for by people. So we were lucky enough to be able to receive Panama 4 years ago, and he makes an amazing animal ambassador. So much fun to work with.
He looks like it. I mean, I can see how Robin's playing with him right now, and you said he was about 4 years old, right? Well, we have a killer whale at our stadium at Shamu that is about 4 years old too, and I look just like this, running around the pool, interacting with him each and every day. Now, one thing that I'm noticing that maybe you could shed some light on, Corey, is he's got a very distinct bill, kind of like Panini did. So what purpose does that serve pelicans?
That bill is very long, and it has a hook on the end, and so it's great for when pelicans dive down into the water, they can scoop up a bunch of fish, but along with that fish, they're also scooping up a ton of water, too. You want to guess how much water they can fit in that pouch?
A lot?
A lot. 3 gallons of water can fit in that pouch. Can you believe that?
3 gallons. Okay, that's like walking out of the supermarket with 3 jugs of milk and putting it on that bird's mouth. That is a lot of water. Well, that is so impressive. Thank you so much, Corey. And Robin, thank you so much for letting us meet Panama. Let's give him a nice hand. Looks like he's greatly enjoying getting to see you all, and this is just a testament to what we do here each and every day. And it's great to see Robin out here with her relationship with Panama, because our relationship with these animals is one thing that you just cannot measure. Now, our next story deals with another animal that can be affected by something just like a plastic bag. Plastic bags are something that we all use in our everyday lives, and you can see that if we're not disposing of them properly, they could cause a lot of trouble. So now here's my friend Bendy to tell us more.
Hey there, you know, one animal that holds such a special place in my heart are turtles. I absolutely adore sea turtles. Interesting fact, these are horrible for sea turtles. If you look at this plastic bag, it actually, when it's floating in the water, can look like a jellyfish, all blown up with the water. That looks like a jellyfish. So the unexpected sea turtle comes along, eats the plastic bag, and then it gets caught up in its stomach, and it can cause great damage. But there's hope. We have to stop littering. We've got to stop all of these horrible pieces of trash from entering the ocean and the waterways to be able to affect positive change.
Well, I'm sure we all can agree that plastic bags and jellyfish have quite a similarity. So, Dr. Croft, besides plastic bags, what are some other common things that we use every day that could cause issues for animals and turtles alike?
Well, I know my kids love balloons, but balloons can also be a real danger to sea turtles. If you let those balloons just go up into the air, into nature, a lot of times they'll end up back in the oceans. And if you think about a balloon with a string, that can also look a lot like a jellyfish or a fish. If it's a mylar balloon, shiny, that can look like a fish darting through the water. And an unsuspecting sea turtle can eat that, and it can also cause a sea turtle harm.
Well, that makes complete sense. I mean, what goes up must come down, right?
Physics.
And Dr. Croft, this is something that I'm personally curious about is, how do you even treat a turtle? I mean, they're reptiles, they're completely covered in this huge shell. How does that all work?
Yeah, reptiles are really neat animals. They wear a lot of their bones on the outside of their body in that shell. So that makes extra challenges for us when we're taking x-rays or if we have to do surgery. But like you mentioned, they're also reptiles. They're cold-blooded, so they do everything a little slower than you or I. If we fall down, scratch our knee, we'll probably heal that within a couple days. If a sea turtle gets a wound, like one that I had recently with monofilament line that was wrapped around its flipper, that took weeks or even a couple months to heal completely until that sea turtle could be returned.
All right, and Dr. Croft, if you could shed a little light for us, how many turtles has SeaWorld been able to rescue just this year alone?
Well, just this year, I think we might be over 100. So just within the SeaWorld parks alone.
That's incredible. Well, let's give her a nice round of applause and all of our turtle team for all the great work they do. So thanks, Dr. Croft, for answering all my turtle trivia. And if all of you want to learn more about sea turtles, please visit us at Turtle Trek if you already haven't, to learn more about our hard-shelled friends and even get to interact and learn more about rescue and rehabilitated manatees. So, to keep us all going at the exact same pace, our next animal story is one that stays at about the same speed, if not even slower. And what other animal could I be talking about? But of course, our sloths. Here at SeaWorld, we are lucky enough to have one of the newest up-and-coming animal ambassadors that is just about to get her badge. Her name is Wookie. She is a 1-year-old baby sloth, and she is by far the cutest thing that I have ever seen. But not all. Oh, there she is right there. She looks like baby Chewbacca. I just love it. But baby sloths are not the only kind that we care for here. Down at our sister park in Busch Gardens, Tampa, we have one of the oldest living recorded sloths in any zoological facility in the world. His name is Harry, which I find quite fitting. So let's take a look as our wildlife dogs keep Harry at the top of his game.
Harry is, as far as we know, one of the oldest sloths in the world, and as such, he is starting to get some health-related issues. He gets frequent exams just to check on his progress.
Although the tests reveal a few age-related issues that the docs will continue to monitor, overall, Harry checks out in good health for a sloth his age. It doesn't appear to be a specific medical issue causing his weight loss, so the team decides to take another close look at his diet. The team will experiment by making a healthy treat to help him gain weight.
Harry seems to like it, so we've been mixing that in with his diet to make sure that he's getting complete nutrition.
The team is pleased that Harry is gaining weight. He'll need his strength to help educate guests about the importance of conservation to prevent habitat loss, the major threat to his species.
He looks great. His weight is starting to stabilize now. He seems to be doing better. The thing that we've noticed above all is that he's very active, which is great. That's what we want to see, especially in the sloth his age. We make sure that he's getting very pampered over at Jumbo Junction on a daily basis.
But even with such a busy schedule, Harry always makes time for a snack.
It is so cool to see Harry out there, right? Now he is one impressive old man, and it's really cool to see him still hanging in there. So I don't think all of you know this, but here with us tonight as a recent sloth expert extraordinaire. So, Corey, I wanted you to tell all of our guests how you become such a sloth expert in your recent years.
Well, just recently I was given the amazing opportunity to travel down to the heart of Panama, where one of our conservation fund partners is the Pan American Conservation Association, and I was able to work alongside the real sloth experts, and I saw firsthand how to care for sloths, especially babies. I saw what threatens the sloths in the wild, and while I was down there, I fell in love with that little baby Wookie that you just introduced, and I'm so excited to announce that just a few weeks ago, because of the partnership and the relationship that SeaWorld has with the Pan American Conservation Association that rescued her, we were able to add Wookie to our animal ambassador team here at SeaWorld, and I can't wait for her to be able to meet all of you pass holders and media out there.
Oh, that's so cool to hear. I know we're all excited. But Corey, I want to know, while you were down there in Panama, what was some of the main threats to sloths that we can help and possibly be even greater game changers?
Well, one of the biggest threats to sloths is deforestation. We all know that they love to climb, and they call the canopy of trees their home in Central and South America. And so what we need to do to protect the sloths and the environment that they live in is to recycle and use recycled products. And something that's so easy for all of us to do, tonight go home and check your orange juice label in your refrigerator and see where those oranges were grown. Hopefully, they're locally grown here in Florida. unfortunately what's happening in Central and South America, forests or the rainforests where sloths live are being destroyed to produce orange groves. So what we can do to help protect sloths is to purchase locally grown oranges.
Well, that's a really good, interesting fact to know, and I think each and every one of us is going to look inside our fridge a little bit differently after hearing that. So, again, Corey, thank you so much for not only what you do for the animals here at the park, but what you've done for animals all around the world. Let's give her a nice round of applause, everyone. Our last story of rescue is one of my personal favorites. Maddie came to us almost 12 years ago, and whenever we first saw her, she was in pretty bad shape. But with the extra care of our veterinary care staff and other veterinarians, we were able to nurse her back to health. Since then, she has been one of our fan-favorite animal ambassadors and our most patriotic. So if you all give a warm welcome to Maddie, our American bald eagle. She is one incredible bird, and I just really love her to death. So, Corey, can you give us a little more about Maddie's story?
Well, she is an amazing bird, and she's in fact one of our rescued animals that we have here at SeaWorld. Unfortunately, Maddie was about 5 weeks old when she fell out of her nest and broke her left wing. So you guys can all see how her left wing is hanging a little bit lower than the right wing. Well, the wing didn't heal properly, and so U.S. Fish and Wildlife decided she was not able to return to her natural environment, and they asked us here at SeaWorld to care for her. So it's Alex and my pleasure to be able to care for Maddie for the last 11 years.
That is awesome. She is an incredible animal, and I don't know, but just like the other birds, you know, like Panini and our pelican, they call Florida home. Is that the same case with our eagle?
That's right. I think Maddie's trying to answer you right now herself. Maddie was actually rescued right here in Central Florida. And bald eagles are fish eaters. So what does Florida have a lot of? Rivers, lakes, oceans. We have a lot of fish here. So bald eagles love to populate this beautiful state.
That's incredible. And one thing that I recently just found out myself is that American bald eagles are now off the threatened and endangered list, which is such a great thing to hear. Because what that means is that each and every one of us are doing our part and becoming real game changers. Thank you so much, Maddie, Alex, and Corey, for letting us meet her and know more about her story. Now, Generation Nature is not just a passive story, but it's a call to action. It's about what we can all do to help. It's your dedication, your acts of caring, and your passion that make this all possible. And we all want to say a special thank you to each and every one of you, not only as our pass holders and media, but by just being here today and supporting our parks, you are helping us help animals in need. So from the bottom of everyone's heart here at SeaWorld, we want to say thank you. So let's give a nice big round of applause for all of our animals and our animal experts. Come on now, get all the attention you want. Now our journey does not end here. As you exit the theater, you will come across our Sea Garden, where tonight and even throughout your other visits here at SeaWorld, you will get the opportunity to meet even more of our amazing SeaWorld animal ambassadors and hear their incredible stories of survival.